Okay, we're back for another video. This one used to be the bane of my existence selling on Amazon. We're going to talk about A to Z claims. Obviously, if you do not monitor your orders and returns, customers are very quick. They want a resolution, and you can get slapped with an A to Z claim, which will show up in your account. Get too many of those, you're in trouble. I used to, work for an Amazon brand, and we would do a lot of FBA, but we also did a lot of FBM because we did like some big bulky products. And FBM, we would get returns sometimes. And that's really where A to Z claims and the problems associated with those come
Mhm.
up. So I guess first question, Arvin, what is an A to Z claim?
Well, an A to C claim, it is the word itself, claim. It's actually for Amazon customers asking Amazon's help because they weren't getting the support that they are asking the seller. For example, they are complaining about the product being defective and asking for a refund, but didn't get a response from the Amazon seller. So then they reach out to Amazon, and then Amazon is actually taking an action. And if the Amazon seller will not do anything about it, then as you said, they are in big trouble.
Yep.
So,
And then the other one, I guess, is also if they return the item and the refund's not processed. Because I guess there's some, I think you can get an A to Z claim for if an FBM order goes through, someone gets their product and then they are upset about it. They don't return it necessarily, but they reach out to you for a resolution, or
mhm.
they or you shipped it but it got lost and so they never got it, and so they reach out to you first. Or sometimes I see that they don't. I've seen sometimes they reach out directly to Seller Central before or seller support.
Yeah, yeah.
So those are
Sometimes,
where I
sometimes.
guess those are kind of the areas where it happens. The one I used to get a ton was they return the item. We now have to process a refund. Sometimes they're auto authorized depending on your account settings. But if they're not, and you have to manually go process the refunds, then if you're not dialed in and checking every day, you can get in trouble there real quick. And so, yeah, I guess what tips do you have to avoiding A to Z claims?
Well, as you said, actually, it's being on top of your buyer messages because these Amazon customers will reach out to you. You are actually given 24 hours to respond.
Hmm.
But then Amazon customers, they will just continue complaining to Amazon support. But and just before we talk about that one, just want to highlight that this particular issue is just common for FBM sellers or those sellers that are fulfilling these orders themselves because all of the FBA are all managed by Amazon. Anything customer service related or any customer issues, they deal with it. So you as the merchant or the seller who is fulfilling directly to your customer, you should be dealing with all of these customer issues. So you have to be attentive. You have to make sure that you are responding to these customers, make sure that you are helpful enough. Well, and then also sometimes you just have to really give it to your customers. I'd say in this scenario, sometimes I don't want to say it, but maybe in this one Amazon customer always right because again it's not about just them being right or you being right, but what will happen to your seller central account if you will not give them what they want or what they were asking.
Yeah. Is it worth fighting for with one customer, but potentially risking your Amazon account? The answer is probably
Yeah.
not. I see.
Yes.
Yeah, it is tricky. I think this is just another argument too for sellers of just go FBA. Unless you have a
Mm.
real reason not to. When we were doing FBM, it was because we were selling very expensive high-end electronics and they were really big. So
Mm-hmm.
there were certain products that we would sell FBM and and then but we would get all kinds of things on the return. So we had to like check the returns. It wasn't oh, I see it's back here. I'm just gonna process the refund. The reason that we would run into these is because like we have to check to make sure they didn't like swap our item out with something else defective that they already had, or and then tried to still ask for a refund, which was, we got a lot of those. And all kinds of other things. So now that's a, that's a trickier business when you're selling kind of the electronic side, I suppose. But I think, if you can try to do FBA, but if you are doing FBM or maybe you have a backup SKU doing FBM, be on top of those returns because you've got to process the refunds or just reply to messages on in a timely fashion to avoid these. Anything
Yeah, that's the
some
thing. Just really respond to the messages at the moment that you see it because it will, I mean, everything starts from there.
yeah,
If you missed it, then yeah, you have to explain everything to Amazon. Why did this happen? So it's like answering a lawsuit.
yeah, yeah. It's not worth doing if you can just stay on top of your account. So I don't think there's really much more to add other than that. This is just it's a really annoying problem if you're doing FBM, but if you're just staying on top of your account every day, it's easy to get this taken care of and not really have to run into these. But just yeah, you got to stay on top of it.
Oh, to be fair, I mean there will be instances that even though you're actually very responsive to your customer, these Amazon customers will just just keep on complaining, and because Amazon is being so customer centric, they will like still give you that A to C claims or on your seller central account. So as a
Yeah,
seller, then that's the time for you to explain and tell them what's really happening and make sure that you documented everything.
yeah,
That you
absolutely.
gave the refund, you gave this, you've been communicating. Make sure that you've been communicating to your customers through the buyer messages portal,
Yeah,
not outside of Amazon. So, yeah.
cool. All right, yeah. So that's A to Z claims. Hopefully, no one watching this is really facing a lot of them. If you are and you need help, we'll put our contact info down below if you have questions or want to get in touch. But I think that's it for this one. Arvin, thanks again as always.
Hmm.
Okay, we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.